Have you ever wondered why some marriages are built on honesty and love while others are clouded by secrets and deception? Why do people so often say one thing but do something completely different? And what really goes on behind the closed doors of marriage that few dare to talk about openly? Today, we're going to dive deeper than ever before, lifting the veil on truths that rarely get spoken out loud. Are you curious why some married women act in ways that can be surprising, even shocking at times? Stick with me until the very end, because what you're about to hear won't be like anything you've heard before. Marriage, in the ideal world many imagine, is like a fortress where the married woman stands strong and unattainable. She took vows, signed the papers, promising to stand by her husband through joy and sorrow, sickness and health. But have you noticed how real life rarely resembles a fairy tale full of loyal knights and devoted princesses? When a married woman suddenly shows interest in another man, do you think it's just a coincidence? Certainly not. Before marriage, a woman plays by the rules. She acts reserved, raises her value, and makes herself seem like the ultimate prize to be won. Why? Because she's looking for a reliable man willing to commit for life. But once she's married, with the ring shining on her finger, the legal papers signed, and a devoted husband waiting at home, what then? Why keep up the act? She's already won. There's nothing left to prove. Now, what she seeks might be something entirely different. Freedom, even if only for a moment. Picture a man noticing the wedding ring on a woman's finger. He knows she's taken. Sometimes she even warns him up front, "I'm married." That should be a red flag, right? But if he doesn't back off, a new game begins. She wants to escape the routine, add some excitement to her life while her husband remains completely unaware. The man agrees to this secret adventure. Each gets what they want, then they part ways, seemingly satisfied. The reality behind affairs is never simple. A survey of 500 men found that over 60% admitted to having at least one affair with a married woman, and notably, 40% said the woman initiated it. This reveals a simple truth. Men aren't always the hunters here. Yet when a man starts to develop real feelings, that's when the drama truly begins. Falling for a married woman is like boarding an emotional roller coaster with no way out. The more attached he becomes, the higher his expectations rise, while she remains utterly unprepared to take on more responsibility or drama. She doesn't want commitment, emotions, or complications. So, what's really behind these secrets? Why is there such an invisible gap between the ideal and the real? And is there a way to understand this better, to make marriage less of a performance? This story is far from over. Stay tuned as we explore deeper in the next part. Building on the complex realities we uncovered about marriage and secret relationships, let's dive deeper into the psychology and behavior of married women in these situations. She craves a fleeting moment of freedom, a brief escape from the daily chains that bind her. But if the man demands more, if he becomes a burden or a source of responsibility, she won't hesitate to discard him without a second thought. This mindset comes from a feeling of protection. Many of these women know their husbands provide financial security, a home, and stability in life. That safety net gives them the confidence to take risks without fearing the consequences. Unlike single women, they feel they have nothing to lose. In real life, examples are everywhere. Scandals involving celebrities, politicians, and business figures whose seemingly stable marriages crumbled over what appeared to be harmless affairs. Surprisingly, the initiator often wasn't the person who took the blame at first. So what should a man do when faced with this? First, accept reality. These relationships rarely end happily. You are just a temporary chapter in her life. Don't try to change her. If she's in it for the thrill, don't expect her to suddenly become a loyal partner. The moment things get complicated, she will leave without hesitation. Second, don't deceive yourself. If you choose to play this game, be prepared to be discarded. Affairs always carry emotional and sometimes even physical risks. When a marriage becomes monotonous, riddled with conflict and endless obligations, the temptation to seek excitement elsewhere skyrockets. Add in nights out with friends, social gatherings, and bar hopping, and the chances of an affair increase dramatically. A dissatisfied woman looks to fill an emotional void. When an opportunity arises, why wouldn't she take it? Even in stable marriages, it's often about chasing novelty and thrill. Ironically, Many women dream of marrying a wealthy, stable man. Yet, paradoxically, these same men often become too accommodating, too soft. They sacrifice their self respect to keep their wives happy. The result? She stops respecting him. The more he tries to please her, the less attractive he becomes. She begins to take his devotion for granted and starts seeking contrast elsewhere. The worst part, he may not even realize his marriage is crumbling. Is it really betrayal? For some women, cheating isn't about betrayal. It's about adding excitement to their lives. They rationalize it as harmless, and since their home, kids, and husband remain intact. But here's the catch. If she doesn't respect her husband and sees him tolerating her behavior, it only emboldens her further. After marriage, women like this don't improve. They get worse. So is there any way to break this cycle, or is it an inevitable fate for many modern marriages? The story has many more layers to uncover, and the next part will help us better understand the consequences, as well as offer deeper insights into love and loyalty within marriage. Continuing from our exploration of the harsh realities behind marriage and loyalty, let's dive deeper into the fragile nature of relationships that many often fail to see. Marriage can be like a house that looks solid on the outside, but is quietly rotting from within. Just one strong gust of wind, and the entire structure collapses. Imagine a husband balancing on a thin tightrope stretched over an abyss. He pours his soul, money, and time into his family, while his wife is the one shaking that rope relentlessly. The harder she shakes, the more likely he is to fall. So, why play this dangerous game? History is filled with stories of celebrities and politicians who destroyed their families for fleeting flings. Countless women once felt invincible, pushing boundaries until they lost everything. Without respect, loyalty cannot survive. Hoping things will magically get better without effort is pure illusion. Loyalty and trust don't automatically come with marriage. They require daily commitment. Without that, relationships become empty facades where everyone lives separate lives until it's too late. Why do men find married women attractive? Because they seem simpler. No need for flowers, romance, or grand gestures. They want results, not attention. Men who avoid serious relationships often fall into this pattern. But here's the catch. If a man starts seeing the affair as something more, he's setting himself up for heartbreak. These affairs thrive on zero commitment. She gets excitement, he gets easy interaction. But the moment emotions enter the picture, everything falls apart. Some men begin to idealize the relationship, thinking she could be their future partner. But she doesn't want a new husband. She already has one. When pressured, she'll choose her marriage, leaving the other man heartbroken. In closing, let's be clear. If respect is missing from the start, don't expect it to appear later. Marriage doesn't change people. It amplifies who they already are. If she didn't respect you before marriage, it will only get worse. For some, cheating is a weakness. For others, it's a lifestyle. Expecting someone to suddenly change is self-deception. Men, stop ignoring red flags. Be strong. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. Women, ask yourself what you truly want. Are you willing to compromise, or are you chasing fleeting thrills? Life isn't a rough draft where mistakes can be erased. Every action has consequences. Think carefully before stepping into situations that could destroy everything. Now it's your turn. Do you agree with this perspective? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and like. The more of us there are, the deeper we can explore these topics together. Take care, and see you next time.